Hi guys, this is Wendy Day from RapCoalition. Thanks for tuning into my live stream. I'm so happy that you're here. Okay guys, I'm almost there. I'm coming, I promise, I'm coming. Hey, I've got a lot of great information for you today. I'm so glad you're here. Okay guys, there's a counter there. I'm trying to beat that counter. As soon as it gets down to 0, I'll be there. Right now, I'm filling up my cup with unsweet tea and extra lemon. Guys, thanks for tuning into my live stream. We're almost ready to go. I'm so glad you're here. I've got such amazing information to share with you tonight. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Guys, how are you? First of all, I gotta thank Tony for getting me here in time. I was just can you guys hear me okay? I was just speaking at A3C downtown, and we left at rush hour so that I could get home to do this, and Tony got me here like a minute and a half ago. He drove like he was a NASCAR driver. So, shout out to Tony for doing that. Legacy Mafia Productions, you're in the studio helping dreams come true. Hey, Todd, how are you? Miracle! I'm glad you have less stress. Yeah, you know, it's if we can get our heads right, like, life is good, right? When we don't have stress. I have the flu, so I don't think I'm going to, make it longer than like 30 minutes to half an hour tonight. So ask your most important questions up front, please. I just spoke at A3C. Look, they gave me this little speaker thing. Instead of a badge, they give you these armbands, wristbands. Phil, okay, I can't read with my glasses. I really have the flu. Phil Flames, how are you? Eric Clements, yay! Good hustle. Thumbs up. Thank you, money baby. Hector, you're nervous about shooters? Yeah. You know, I'm always more nervous about like a fight breaking out over some bullshit than I am about like getting shot or something. You know? I know Vegas was a little bit scary. It was scary when it happened in France too, right? So they've hit pop music and country music. Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm a gun collector. Like I have weapons all over my house, but I don't have weapons of mass destruction. Like I don't need to be at a hotel window shooting people out in a concert, right? I think it was Ariana Grande. Was it Selena Gomez? I think it was Ariana Grande. You know, that's got to be so hard for a performer to have such mass destruction, like, associated with their names. Like, artists are artists. You guys know most of you are artists, you know? Todd, I go live on the first Wednesday of every month at 7 o'clock. I normally go for about an hour to 2 hours. I stay until the questions are done, but I have the flu right now, so I probably won't make it the full hour tonight. I don't feel good. Tony is good. Thank you for asking, Todd. The Cool Crew. Yay. Nick West. I don't know that I'm the gatekeeper of the secrets. I think I'm pretty much the gate opener of the secrets. Nick West. Thank you, Hector. It was Ariana Grande. Yes, Money Baby. I actually go to the range with my guns to learn how to shoot. Okay, so I'm just going to start talking today. I sat on a panel today about publicity, and it's funny because it was 4 publicists and me. And they put me on the panel because they wanted, like, the non-publicist viewpoint, like why you hire a publicist and how you choose one and when to hire one. And there was a guy at the event filming, so I'm going to try to get the footage and put it up on my Facebook page. Not my Facebook page, my YouTube page. That's what I'm trying to say. And hopefully you guys will get to see it. Those of you who aren't in Atlanta here at A3C. A3C doesn't have a great buzz this year, but it was pretty crowded today. Not as crowded as it usually is, but this was only the first day. But on the panel, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you. And thank you, Doc Holla. I appreciate you so much. And Phil Flames. I appreciate you too. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in because, like, you don't have to, right? You got better shit to do. But I appreciate it. But we talked about how you really don't need a publicist until you're really on and popping. And I think that's so true. Like, getting a blog to write about you when you're brand new is just really hard to do. So why not put your effort into social media and building your buzz and getting out on the streets and doing what you got to do in terms of spreading your music to people one by one? Like, why not do that rather than spend the money and the time to get on the blogs? The blogs used to be the gatekeepers. They're not anymore. I think it's the Spotify playlist. Not just Spotify. It's all the playlists. Like, people go to YouTube and playlists to discover music. And surprisingly, they still go to radio. Like 97% of the population still listens to radio, probably in their cars. But like, the stats are still high, you know, and it's surprising to me, but I see that the stats are still high. Oh my God. I have the flu. I should probably stop telling you because you may not have noticed if I hadn't said something. Olupanu69, thank you. Jay Jones, I am the gate opener, yes. Absolutely. So what have you guys been up to? Like, what are you doing? Are you recording? Are you marketing and promoting? You know how, like, everybody says you shouldn't put music out in the fourth quarter? I'm finding that to not be true this year. I'm finding that it's pretty open. I'm not working with Trouble anymore because he is signed to Interscope. So Interscope has been working Trouble not as well as we were. But it appears that he's got a record that is #1 right now in Atlanta called Brick. And they just started targeting New York. And I was a little bit concerned because the fourth quarter is coming. But Interscope's not concerned at all. They feel that the fourth quarter is wide open. So why not? So that's pretty exciting, right? Eric says people still listen to radio because radio gives out free gifts. Phil, there were a lot of good questions at A3C. There was a woman, and she kind of got shut down a little bit, but her question was so good. She asked, like, what 3 things can she do to strengthen her social media? And I guess maybe because it was a publicity panel, they kind of shut her down, like they played her off. But I thought it was a really wonderful question. And the answers are to engage with your followers that you have, use hashtags to expand, and put together a plan for your social media. Like, don't just, and I need to take this advice. Like, don't just wake up in the morning and start posting shit. Like put together a plan of, you know, this week I'm going to post about A3C, and I'm making this up as I go, right? But I would put a plan together and I would decide what I'm going to post when. So, you know, maybe at the end of October, I post some Halloween shit. And then in November, maybe I post some stuff about where we were last year with the election, you know, and talk about like how it's been for this past year with Trump winning. And then that goes into the middle of November, and maybe in the middle of November I talk about the leaves changing, you know, and start posting some cool pictures on my Instagram of fall, you know, like fall foliage here in Atlanta. Or I travel a lot, so maybe I'll post fall foliage from my travels. Then at the end of the month, I talk about like family and Thanksgiving. But the publicists on the panel were talking about how you put together like a plan for the whole year, and you start collecting your content so that when you post, you've got a whole layout and you're not scrambling for stuff, you know. Also, Tony has always talked about on posting on social media that you should post once, you should then go in and like 2 photos by other people, and you should leave 3 comments on other people's Instagram. So his 1, 2, 3 theory, 1 post, 2 likes, 3 comments, are what keeps him going and building on his social media, on his Instagram. And I thought that was kind of good. I had made the suggestion that we don't just spam music and we don't just do promotion-y stuff, that we actually post stuff that's of interest to other people. Like even if it's stuff in our personal lives, like stuff that matters to us. Like for me, I'm sitting at my desk, so this is kind of easy to do. Like on my desk, I have a picture of me and Tony from the time that we went to a cavern in Tennessee. I've got a collection of rocks that sit on my desk. Like you guys probably had no idea that like I'm into rocks, right? Because like why would I be, right? Like who's into rocks? But I've got like a ton of these sitting on my desk, and I could put them together and make like a really cool Instagram post of my rocks, and it kind of like brings you guys into my world a little bit, and shows you like what I'm about, other than working with rappers, other than, you know, like marketing and promotions, you know. And I think when we share with people who we are, that's when people bond to me. Like any of you guys out there that are really into rocks, we're just like, oh shit, she's into rocks, you know. And if you weren't, you're just looking at them like, yeah, whatever. But the fact is that anybody that can get excited about that, like it shows them that I'm human. I'm not just all about being on YouTube and talking about like how to do shit in the music industry. Phil Flames, congratulations on dropping your new video. Brandon Lundy, what's my advice to the guys out here in the late 20s and early 30s? My advice is the same to you as it is to the new artists. Like you got to find your market and reach them. So whoever your potential market is for your music, you just got to find them, and you still market and promote the same way. Social media, you know, make sure your content is of interest to somebody that's in your age range. I'm guessing that a 14-year-old isn't listening to a 30-year-old rap. They probably don't have the same life experiences that you have, you know, unless you're a pop star, then maybe. Julio R. Entertainment, how are you? Money baby. Julio, what I think about Cardi's career, I think that it skyrocketed. Like she came from television. And I had always heard that you can't come from TV and become a star. And then Drake did it. And now Cardi B is doing it. So it looks like all of those old rules about gimmicks are out the window. So I'm watching Cardi B closely. I think that she's got a really great song. I'm hoping that she can build a great career, like some longevity, the way Nicki Minaj did. I think that she can. I haven't really listened to her music, so I don't know. But I guess we'll see, right? Eric, A3C is a hip-hop conference here in Atlanta. It's every year. I think they're in their 10th year now. It stands for all 3 coasts. It's the bringing together the East Coast, the South, and the West Coast. And it's their way of saying including everybody in the U.S., although shouldn't it be A4C because you got the Midwest? But I digress. It's a hip-hop conference. You can see what they offer at a3cfestival.com. And I speak on panels here only because I live here. I probably wouldn't fly in to A3C if it wasn't in Atlanta and if I didn't live here. But you guys should, because you guys need to get as much knowledge as possible. And I'm telling you that, and it's already fucking started. I'm sorry. Calvin A. Green Jr., Trapstar Kev. I just met Trapstar Kev like an hour ago, hour and a half ago. Yes, he introduced himself. And Tony's downstairs. He's actually making me some soup because I have the flu. And he's taking care of me. He's so fucking amazing. Nick West has the flu too. Oh no. That's terrible. Money Baby saying, what is the best effective way to get onto playlists? The best way to get onto playlists is to start your own, build your own following, work with people that you know, have them start their own playlists and swap out your music, get on each other's playlists. Once you've got a buzz, then you can start going for the bigger playlists. But until you've got a decent sized buzz, like even with Trouble, he's just getting on the playlists. I shouldn't say that. He just got on the playlist about a year ago, but he's never been on like Rap Caviar or Discover Weekly. You know, you've got to really have a buzz to be able to get on the bigger playlist. So you start small and you work your way up to the bigger playlists that have like millions of followers and stuff. Dave East is a great example of how and what to post on social media. Awesome. I'm going to follow him. I don't follow Dave East. I just noticed him recently because he's here in Atlanta doing a radio run, or at least he was this past week. So he happened to hit my feed just because of all the DJs here in Atlanta that I follow. And I noticed him, I noticed that he's in town, but I'll go follow him and check out what he posts and how he posts. Sun Twisted. Money Stacks Media is asking me about DistroKid. You guys ask me about DistroKid every month, and I say the same thing. I've never used them, but the people that I know that have used them like them. They seem to really give a shit about educating artists. I noticed the owner of DistroKid has been on his Instagram for the past month, maybe 2 months now, giving little tidbits of how to do shit in the music business, which tells me that he really does care about his market. He's not just out there trying to make money. But I would suggest asking around into your circle and find out what they think of DistroKid. I know they give you 100% of the income, and you pay them, I want to say it's $30 or $40 to upload your album. Mike Woods is saying, I thought I knew my market, but social media got me messed up. Facebook showed me younger generations like my music too. Do you think social media analyzing is good to go by for your market? I think it's very important to check that out because, and you're discovering it here, like you think your market is just one thing, and you're finding that there's like a younger generation of people that are also liking your music. The bulk of rap fans, the people that spend the most money and the people that attend shows are from 13 to 26. So when you start getting older than 26-year-olds, there's less people spending money on music and entertainment. And you can kind of figure that out if you think that, around 26, people are starting to get a life. Like they're starting to get jobs and families and raising kids. And now they have mortgages and car payments, and folks that go to college now have college loans to start repaying. So somebody who may have spent, a couple $100s a week on going to clubs to party and get into to shows, they may not have that same budget anymore that they once had. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I do not feel good. Hector wants some soup too. So, Mike, I think that, yes, I think that big data can really help you. Just remember that the data is going to be a little different for all of your platforms. Like, the people who are your fans on Facebook may be a little older than the fans on Snapchat, because Snapchat just skews really young. So it's important to understand who your fans are and to target them. So you may want to have younger material or younger things of interest on Snapchat than you would on Facebook. Like, you might not want to, you know, show everybody that you're married with 3 kids on Snapchat. You might want to talk about, you know, the new kicks that you just bought, or you might want to talk about, if you're into PlayStation, like games that you play. You know, you might want to save the family portraits for Facebook, where it skews a little bit older. You just want to reach people that get you and understand you. Bubble on deck. Thank you, Kenneth. DJ Yesay, thank you. You're so welcome. Nick, you don't register your album with the RIAA. The RIAA is an organization for the major labels. They're not really for independent. If you're signed to a major label, then automatically your information goes to the RIAA, but they use a lot of SoundScan stats in their numbers, like when they're talking about market share for Atlantic, for Universal, for Sony. They're using the SoundScan numbers based on sales, for sales and streaming. Tamaras says, I watched your interviews with Mike Matthews, still got lots of work to do, but new single, Cute Panties, is already on the charts. You go, girl! I'm so proud of you. Tony also told me that you shared with him some information about a company. It's got a bunch of initials. They're in LA. I can't remember the name of the company. I have Theraflu head right now. So I'm a little bit foggy, but thank you for sharing that information with him. It was really helpful. So you guys are amazing. Like, you share information with me just like I share information with you. And I hope that you're doing that with each other too. Like, I hope that you're all like networking and helping each other, because Tamara has a lot of amazing information, and you guys might be able to share information with her, like, you know, how to get on some playlists. That is something that she may be looking for, you know. And she's done a shit ton of research on companies that do like SoundCloud promotion and all types of promotion. Internet radio promotion and radio promotion. She's already called in and had a conversation with Mike Matthews. Yeah, we talked about you behind your back in a good way. He was very impressed with you. Like the questions you asked and stuff. He was very impressed with you. Phil is saying, what are 3 things an artist should prepare to be ready to do when they hit A3C for the first time? 3 things. You should be ready to network, because this industry is all about relationships. So you want to step up to people. Don't just hand them your music and walk away. Because by the time somebody gets home, somebody like myself gets home with the music, and I don't listen to music, so I'm a bad example, but I don't remember who's given me what. So I'll come home with a purse full of music, and even if I was going to listen to it, I can't put a CD to a face, or a download card to a face, right? Or even an MP3 stick to a face. But what I can do is, if you and I have a conversation and we talk about something that stands out, like today, Griffin from CD Baby was waiting outside of my panel, and he came up and he hugged me, and I love Griffin so fucking much. And he said to me, Wendy, I saw after you came home from the CD Baby conference in Nashville, I saw that you posted that you wished we had done more outreach to hip hop, and I'd really like to do that. Can you help us? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'd love to help you, and I'll do it for free, because I want the hip hop marketplace to get the same information that the rock guys get and the country guys get. And because they don't do an effective outreach to hip hop, we all kind of play CD Baby to the left. And they have some of the best splits in the industry in terms of distribution splits, right? Like, they do have value. And even if you hate CD Baby and you already have distribution, that's cool. They do a conference every year at the end of August that's incredible, and it's only $99 to go. And when you compare that to a company like Revolt, I think the Revolt, when I pulled up their website, I think it's $1,500 to go to Revolt next week. And that's just crazy. Like I make money in music, and I'm not going to spend $1,500 to go to Revolt. It's revolting. Aren't you glad you asked me that? Oh, so the 3 things you need to do are network, stand out, and have something to give somebody so that if they want to reach back out to you, they can. Like a business card or a flyer, like something to hand somebody so that they can bring it home. And if you impress them, they can either add you to their email list, or they can, you know, bring home your, like a card, you know, even a flyer, something where they can go and listen to your music or watch your videos if they're interested. Mike Woods is sick with me. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Oops, I almost got past that. Money Stacks is asking me who I use for distribution. We use Empire distribution. All of Trouble stuff came through Empire, and then I also use 1RPM out of Nashville. But I use 1RPM because the guy who runs the rap side of 1RPM used to work with me as my intern. So there's that relationship thing that I was talking about. And then I use TuneCore for the newer artists when they're just first starting out. And I might switch to DistroKid because I've heard good things about DistroKid. DJ SA, I've been seeing a lot of YouTube artists doing covers and selling them on iTunes. How are they getting away with it? And can that same loophole apply to DJs remixing a song? I don't know, because Apple iTunes has the tightest policy of anybody. Like, I can't even get songs that have samples on there when we have the clearances. So I don't know how they're doing that. And I guess my best advice would be try doing a remix and putting it up and see what happens. But I gotta tell you, like, I don't know a lot of people that buy music anymore. Like, most of the people that I'm around, including myself and the fans of my clients, they all stream. They're either streaming on Apple Music or they stream on Spotify. And I realize you have to be on all the platforms as an artist because you're promoting yourself and you're new and you want to reach people wherever you can. But I don't know many people that buy hard copies anymore, or many people that buy MP3s anymore, that download music, except illegally. I'm just making sure I haven't missed any questions. Oop, I did. See, it's good that I'm going backwards. Thank you, DJSA. I hope I feel better too. This is my 3rd day. So I figure, what, it lasts 5 days? I figure I'll be better by Saturday. Is that realistic? I took it really easy yesterday and Monday because I knew that today I had to go to A3C, and tomorrow my day starts at 7 a.m. at A3C. I have meetings. I have breakfast meetings. Cruel. Just cruel. I'm not a morning person, so 7 a.m. is ungodly to me. Nick West is asking how Master P and Cash Money did it when they were small scale. It's a different era, so I don't want to use them as examples because they sold CDs out of the trunk of their car. And if I take 20 minutes to explain to you how they did it, it's not effective today, and I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to go and lose money pressing up CDs and going from gas station to gas station trying to sell them. Gangster, go away. Coupe de Trail, how are you? No, I haven't heard of the streaming service called Amuse. will.i.am is co-founder of it, and it's offering licensing deals through their services. I'm not familiar with them, although I just saw Will's manager, I think his name is Derek Thompson, at the panel that I just spoke on at A3C. He was sitting right in the front row, and he stepped up to remind me how helpful I was to them when they first started, and I didn't realize that I had been helpful to them, so that was just the warm fuzzies. That was very nice to hear. Sir Big Head is asking me if I'm hip to blockchain music yet. I'm not. I'm hip to cryptocurrency and using blockchain. I know there's a couple of cannabis companies that are using blockchain, but I'm not hip to anybody using it for music yet. That'll be interesting, though. Tamara Bubble is trying to sign up for the Music Entrepreneur Club, but has had issues with profile registration. It doesn't accept her phone number no matter what format she puts it in. You know what's funny is I just saw Damien a couple hours ago at A3C. He's speaking tomorrow, and Bubble, I'll mention this to him. But when I saw him, I'm like, dude, I tried to go in and purchase an annual registration because I told him in my interview I was going to do it, and there was no place for me to sign up. Like, once I put in my email address, I was already a member. And I'm like, you know, this is really cool, and I love you for that, but I'm really trying to support you. Like, I'm really going to buy a subscription and do this. And he said, you know what, I'll send you a link. So, Bubble, I think what I'll do is I'll bring this to his attention. Bubble, would you email me your contact info? And what I'll do is I'll print it out and hand it to him so he can put it in his pocket. So when he leaves A3C tomorrow, he can either send you a link or he can go into the back end of it and enter your phone number for you. Like, however you want to do it, I'm happy. I'm gonna see him tomorrow. I think he's speaking in the evening, but I'm gonna go see him regardless. I'm looking forward to Music Entrepreneurs Club. It's a little pricey, but I'm really excited about it. And then he gave us a discount if we plug in my name, Wendy Day. We get a percentage off, which is always wonderful. And I'm going to use it my damn self. Thanks, Tamara. LevelUp is asking, in my opinion, can radio still break a record? Abso-fucking-lutely. And if so, is there a single service that distributes your single with the right budget? No. That's not how radio works. You need to hire an independent radio promoter to help you get traction at radio, but you're not going to want traction at radio until you've already got a buzz and you're already popping. And I say that only because you can lose a lot of money at radio. So please be really careful with that. I've got some interviews on my YouTube page with radio guys, but more importantly, on my blog, which is industryreport.com, there's an article called something like the most important radio article you will ever read. So if you go to industryreport.com and you put radio in the search engine, it'll pull up like 4 or 5 articles. You want the one that says the most important radio article you'll ever read. And I explain how to get radio play from start to finish. Like, it is truly the most important article you will ever read. So please go read that before you lose money at radio. And that was for LevelUp. Mike Woods is saying, when you're at a conference and talking to someone, what kind of discussions grab your attention to make you remember them? Anybody that has somebody in common with me always catches my attention. If somebody has read an article about me and asks me a question about what I do, when somebody says that they're from Philadelphia, because I'm from Philadelphia, that stands out. When somebody says that they're from Chicago, I've spent a lot of time in Chicago, so that immediately makes my ears perk up. I almost always ask them what side of town they're from. Are they from the south side, the west side, the north side? Because I've spent enough time there to get a picture of like where they're from. It's more than just, hi, here's my music, or hi, I'm a rapper. In 25 years, you can imagine how many times I've heard people come up to me and say that. There was a guy, when I was speaking at Coast to Coast, I was wearing a Rosa Parks t-shirt that said, nah. And he was wearing a shirt by the same company that was, it was Harriet Tubman, and it said, we out. And like, we recognized each other because we both had the same shirts on, you know, different phrases, but like, we looked at each other like, oh shit. You know, when we took a picture together, I put it on my Instagram. I'll always remember him because of that. Like, anywhere I am, he can come up to me and say, I was at Coast to Coast and we had similar shirts on, and I will know exactly who he is. So all of you could come up to me and say, hey, we were together at Coast to Coast wearing the same shirt, and I will think that you're him because now you know the story. Coop to Trill, I'm looking forward to studying blockchain a little bit. Not today though, because I don't feel good. Are you guys tired of hearing me whine about how I don't feel good? Because I'm tired of hearing me whine about how I don't feel good. Sun Twisted is asking, do you think streaming would work for beats, or are rappers just going to try to rip it and keep it moving? I don't think streaming works for beats because streaming is for fans, and I don't think fans want to listen to instrumentals. I think only rappers want to listen to instrumentals. Thank you, Tamara. I loved my interviews with Mike Matthews. Sometimes I like the interview I did with Lester Pace too about radio. The great thing is, like, these are my radio guys. So I've been working with them for 10, 15, 20 years. So I know what to ask them, you know? And when I started working with them, they were relatively new in the industry, and then they both turned out to be like top guys in radio. It's kind of cool, right? Sir Bighead, email me links on blockchain, please. DJ Yasay is saying there's a great product called Standard Process named Plex. You took it on and off and didn't catch a cold for about 3 years. Yay! Oh, it's Sai. Excuse me, DJ Yasai. Excuse me, love. Appreciate you. I'm writing that down so I can go find it when I get off the phone. Plex. I haven't been sick in so long, which makes it worse. Like, when you haven't been sick in like a year or so and you get sick, it's like, it's like you're not used to it, you know? Doc Holla, would you suggest selling your music on your website exclusively? Absolutely not. Or should you get on all the streaming services as a new artist? You should be everywhere your fans go. Your fans, when you're new, do not come to you because you're still being discovered. They're going to discover you on whatever platform they're comfortable with. So if they're Spotify people and you're not on Spotify, they're never going to hear your music. If they're Spinrilla people and you're not on Spinrilla, they're never going to hear it. If they're Apple people and you're never on Apple, ditto, Google Play, Amazon, you've got to be on all the platforms, including YouTube and SoundCloud and AudioMac. Be everywhere. Crap, I keep skipping. There we go. Doc Hall, I saw the indie payouts for streaming and they're pretty bad. I think they're pretty good. Last month, Trouble made $20,000 in streaming music. And I wasn't mad at that. It's better than giving it away for free. And that's just his independent stuff. That doesn't include the shit that he's doing with Interscope now. He's been signed to Interscope since May or June. I think, let's say June 1st. Thank you, Calvin. He says, I'll be surprised how many people are in the school of Rap Coalition. That's fucking awesome. I love it. Maria Garza, I'm so happy to be here sharing knowledge. It's not easy tonight. I don't feel good. But look, I've made it 40 minutes. I'm so impressed with myself. I really feel like shit. Mike Woods, I'm not going to Coast on November 7th in Raleigh, North Carolina. I went to their conference to speak on a panel over Labor Day weekend, but I don't go to the showcases. It's not helpful for me. There's no reason for me to watch artists perform. I don't even watch my own clients perform. There's just, you know, as long as they're doing it well and they're killing it, that's really all that matters. For me, I look more for the buzz that an artist has. Thank you, Maria. I know you guys are tired of hearing me say I don't feel good. I know that you are because I'm tired of saying it. But it helps me to say it. It makes me feel better. Phil's asking, is there anybody speaking at A3C that I'm looking forward to hear speaking? I really wanted to hear Steve Rifkin and Combat Jack do an interview. It's happening right now. And I thought this was more important. I didn't want to blow you guys off, but I really wanted to hear that interview. I did David Banner's deal with Steve Rifkin, and I really like him a lot. And I would have really loved to have just given him a hug and see how he's doing. He's out on the West Coast, and I don't get to the West Coast very much, so I would have really liked to hear him speak. Tomorrow, there's a panel somewhere around 1:30. It's Fadia Cater from Instagram. She's going to talk about like how we can benefit from Instagram. Her panel's about an hour and 15 minutes long, so it's not really long enough to give too much information, but she's going to try to do as much of a masterclass as she can. So I'm pretty excited by that too. Thank you, Sir Big Head. Tamaras saying wearethehits.com is a site that lets you put up covers and handles the licensing rights you need to do it legally. But I don't do covers, so check it out for yourself. Thank you, Tamara. Bubble! Bubbles in the house. You know I love your name, right? I have so much fun with your name. Tamara says raw onion will knock that cold right out. Tony does that. He takes a plate of sugar and he puts an onion on it and he just lets it soak like for however long, and then he eats the sugar with the onion. Girl, I can't eat onions. I think onions are the nastiest thing on the face of this earth. I might eat a worm before I'd eat an onion. So I'll just take vitamin C and get better. Ryan says, what type of buzz do you look for in an artist to help promote them? I don't look for a buzz. I'm a hired gun. I mean, I do look for buzzes in artists, but that's not contingent on whether I help them or not. I'm a hired gun. I no longer work on spec, meaning I don't work for free. I'm 25 years in, so I don't have to work for free anymore. So people hire me to help them market and promote. I don't just discover talent and then help them market and promote. Oh my God, Buck of Psychodrama is here. Jesus, fuck, I love you. Okay, I probably offended a whole bunch of people with that one. But Buck from Psychodrama is here. I love Psychodrama. Yes. I'm sorry you're sick, Nick. And thank you, Buck. I hope I feel better. I mean, obviously I'm going to feel better. I just wish I felt better now. I'm going to have chicken noodle soup as soon as I get off of here. LevelUp asks, what organization do I use to collect streaming royalties? For streaming royalties, the payments come through Sound Exchange for like Pandora, and Empire is the distributor that we used for Trouble before he got signed to Interscope, so they collected the streaming royalties, but your distributor is collecting your streaming royalties for you, and then your music royalties come from either ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, whichever one you choose to join, and to me they're interchangeable. I don't write music, so I don't belong to ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, so I don't have personal experience with any of them. Trouble uses BMI. A lot of his producers are with CSAC. I think either Southside or London on the Track is signed to CSAC, and I'm trying to think of an example of somebody on ASCAP, and I'm drawing a blank. I think Zaytoven might be with ASCAP. Anyway, they're the three performance royalty organizations. And guys, I have an article at IndustryReport.com that talks about all of the different ways you get paid from royalties, and it's not too far back. I wrote it sometime in early September, like maybe around Labor Day, maybe the end of August, somewhere in there. So you don't even have to go too far back to find that, and it talks about how to get paid from all the royalties. And Tamara says she does not eat onions either. For internet radio, you should register with Sound Exchange. That's who collects your money, not BMI or ASCAP. LevelUp says BMI seems more modern, but ASCAP pays more for artists. I've heard both of them say that they pay more, so I don't know which is true. You guys should probably ask your peers. So I have answered all these questions. I have stayed for 45 minutes. I'm proud of myself. I was going to do 30 or 45 minutes today. I'm right at the 45-minute mark. I want to go eat some chicken soup and go lay down because, as you know, say it along with me, I feel like shit. I have the flu. So the next time you guys see me, I'm going to be healthy and strong, and I'll be back. And I love you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. Thanks for putting up with me whine about how I don't feel good. And if you want to email in some questions for me to answer next month, please do it ahead of time. And I will see you right here on the first Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And thank you so much. All of you, I appreciate you so much. Okay, guys, have a great night. Take care.